Namaste everyone, welcome back to another video. So today's message is all gonna be about being optimistic and positive. So a lot of times in our lives, we feel like being bombarded with negative thoughts. It's like we are surrounded by all the negative thoughts and we don't know how to get out of it. Our worldview, our perspective towards life, it becomes very pessimistic. We start thinking about all the worst case scenarios and we become really negative in our lives. And sometimes even when nothing wrong is going on in our lives, even when things are not falling apart, even at that time we start having negative thoughts. So first thing that you have to realize is that the thought forms that you experience is not something that is coming from your own mind. All the humans are connected psychically, energetically, and because of that we create a collective consciousness, a collective grid of energy, and we all are connected through that. And you can see every thought as a frequency station, just like radio. And whenever you are with yourself, when you are sitting with yourself, when you are just by yourself, or even when you are with other people, and suddenly you see a thought in your mind, you realize that you are having a negative thought, you are thinking about the future, you're getting worried about it, you are feeling unsafe, you're feeling insecure all of a sudden. Definitely, it will impact you more because of your own traumas, because of your own conditioning. But the source of the thought is not always within you. It can be something you picked up from the collective consciousness. And because majority of the people, the masses, the world we live in, they are unconscious. They are not spiritually awake. They are not aware of their thoughts. They are not mastering their consciousness. So they end up giving their power away to those thoughts. And that makes the thoughts itself more powerful. So that's why whenever you pick them up, you feel they have a power over you, like you are controlled by them. All the negative thoughts related to especially the future, feeling insecure about the future, always being worried about the future. And whenever something really massive happens in the collective, something that is related to money, at that time particularly, you will feel that there is a fear in the collective, and you will pick up on that, especially when you are intuitive, when you are connected to your own spirit, when you're connected to yourself, you will pick up on that really quickly. So a lot of these things don't impact you directly. They are not even happening in your country. So these things are beyond time and space because we are connected through the energetic grid. So first of all, whenever you have these thoughts, the first reminder that you have to give yourself is I am not these thoughts. They are just visiting me. Let them visit. Let them come and let them go also. Don't grab them. The moment you say, I don't want to have this negative thought, you are grabbing to the negative thought. Your effort of trying to eradicate that negative thought makes that negative thought more powerful. If you could just let it visit, it's there, observe it, watch it, but don't become persistent on removing that thought because that reflects your effort. And wherever you create effort, the mind becomes more powerful and it starts grabbing that thing. You might have noticed that the more you not try to do something, the mind makes more of it. So whenever you forcefully try to stop something, it becomes more powerful. That's how the mind works. That's how the thought works. So this quality of watching, observing, that quality comes from your consciousness. Your consciousness is something that is beyond the mind, that doesn't operate in the realm of thought. Even the grid of that energy, it's like happening on consciousness. Consciousness is the surface, it is the background of everything. It is where everything happens, the physical, the energetic, the spiritual, whatever you want to call it. Everything unfolds on the surface of consciousness. Consciousness is the core material, it is the source material. So you are also connected to that consciousness. You are not separate from it. But when we become too much identified with the physical aspects, with the thought forms, we forget that consciousness. And all the spiritual practices like meditation, they are all about remembrance. Remembering that consciousness in yourself, not remembering outside of yourself, in some figure, in some idea of God. It's all about realizing it within yourself that you are that consciousness and you are not separate from it. It's just like waves realizing again that they are part of the ocean. They are not separate And they are not just part, they are the ocean. Just physically, you can give them a name that they are the waves. But when you zoom out, all you see is the ocean. So we all are like these waves in the big ocean of consciousness. And we have limited forms. They are just existing for a temporary time, and we become too much identified with them and we forget who we really are. So this consciousness gives you the quality of watching, observing from a neutral perspective, without taking sides, without taking the positive side and the negative side. The moment you take the side, you are fighting with the other side. That creates the problem. So the key here, whenever you are attacked by negative thoughts, is first of all the awareness that I am not this thought. Here you are not saying positive or negative. You're simply saying I'm not identifying with it. Then taking a deep breath and reminding yourself that I am the one who is watching. I am the observer. That watchfulness, the quality of watching, that is coming from consciousness, not the watching itself. I'm talking about the quality, the energy. That is consciousness. Don't try to grab that watchfulness. Don't try to grab the observer. Then again, you are in the mind. Just watch it, like curiously. Sink into that energy, the quality of watchfulness. And the more you observe it, you will see that thoughts, they just visit. It's the reality. Even the positive ones and negative ones, they are just visiting you. Let them visit. Let them come and go. No thought can stay permanently. That's why the great saying, this too shall pass. Everything is temporary. So the moment you try to forcefully let go of a negative thought, the more powerful it becomes. So work on your consciousness. Raise your level of consciousness. Meditate. The more you do the breath work, the more you start watching your breath go in and go out, you are developing that higher consciousness within yourself. Because the breath is always there, and that's why in meditation the breath is used. But the ego doesn't see value in meditation. That's the problem. The ego sees value in money, in power, in the things that make you more powerful externally, your personality. But when you work on your consciousness, no one will give you the validation. The system will not give you the validation. Instead, you are becoming more sovereign, more free. So you have to see the values in things which are good for your soul. The ego will never see the value in that. So you have to remind yourself, you have to set reminders, maybe alarms, to remind yourself it's time to meditate. Because if you don't meditate, if you're not connected to that higher consciousness, your higher self, you will not have the quality of watchfulness. Any of the thought forms can surround you and you will not have a way out, because you will not have that consciousness keeping you grounded. Another thing that is really helpful for having an optimistic mindset is seeing yourself as the creator of your life. When you have a positive mindset, positive attitude, and I'm not talking about fake positivity here. I'm not talking about living in a fairyland. I'm talking about realistic positivity. Positivity is a mindset. It gives you an insight on the positive side. If there is a glass which is half empty and half full, if you can focus on the half full side, you are a positive person. So to be positive is a really important aspect of being the creator of your life. If you are a pessimistic person, you will become a victim of your circumstances, a victim of your past, a victim of whatever has happened to you. You are not in control of your story, of your narrative. You are the victim of it. So don't be a victim of your life. Be a creator. Create your story. And that happens when you are positive. When you wake up and you say, I'm grateful for this life. I'm grateful for this gift. And I'm going to create something positive. I'm going to do something. I'm not going to complain about it. I'm going to make a positive impact with positive attitude, with positive mindset. When you put that energy out into the universe, you are not starting from the complaining mindset that everything lacks in my life. Let me complain about it. Let's start the day with that vibration. So the universe will mirror back that to you. So you have to understand, every morning if you wake up with a positive attitude. Your subconscious is being reprogrammed. Your subconscious is the 95% or even more than that. So if you can have a control over that, how the subconscious thinks, you have control over most of your reality and you're becoming a creator. So don't be a victim. Never play the victim. Don't try to be. Definitely, sometimes we get triggered, sometimes the trauma surfaces up, we become too much fearful. But always remember, if you are pessimistic, if you are playing the victim, you are not being the creator. You are not creating your reality. You are not being a co-creator in this world. Now other people can run your show because it's very easy to control the people who are the victims, who don't take charge of their reality because they are disempowered. A positive person is empowered. A positive person knows what they are doing and who they are. So the positive mindset starts with a grateful heart, with focusing on what you already have. It's a very simple thing, but it's very powerful. Always be grateful. Wake up with a grateful heart. Focus on the positive things that are happening to you. Journal. Write the positive things down. The more you focus on the positive side of life, the more you start manifesting it. You start creating a positive life for yourself. It doesn't mean you will not have problems, but because you have the positive mindset, you look for solutions. You don't dwell on problems for too long. Definitely sadness will come. You still will do the shadow work, but you will not let the negative thought forms attack you. You will realize that everything comes and goes. This understanding will be there. So be a positive person. Practice gratitude. Practice breath work. Become conscious of your own consciousness. Be aware that you are a spiritual being having a human experience. Don't just think about it. Be that spiritual being. Be that consciousness. Be that energy that you are. When you are just limited to the ego, when you are just limited to that human personality, persona, the mask that you are wearing, everything is limited. But when you know yourself as that consciousness, as that spiritual being, you are expanded. You are no longer limited. You are no longer bounded by the physical aspects. Suddenly you become limitless. So this feeling is something that can only be experienced. You will still look like a human, but you feel from within that you are not just limited to this ego because you know your higher self. So I hope you enjoyed this video. You can like, comment and share. You can also support my work by hitting the thanks button. And please make sure to subscribe. See you in the next video. Much love to you all.